to all my favorite stars out there, Artstar here, and today I'm going to be doing something completely different. I'm going to be drawing some fantasy OCs while doing a voiceover. I always wanted to do a video like this, but never had the idea or inspiration to do so, but now I do. I made these characters with Lavender Animatics. Please go check out her YouTube channel. She has really cool animations. She makes great characters and I love her work, so please go check her out. So we were making D&D inspired characters for a series that she's working on, but then while making these characters, I was like, hey, I should give these characters their own series. So that's who I'm going to talk about. So these characters are supposed to be wizards, but since I don't know anything about D&D stuff, I decided to just make everything up, make it a fantasy story. So I'm going to talk about the characters now. The boy that is on the screen now, his name is Cracks, and he has a pet snake, and his name is Ghost. Cracks is very basic. He's very outgoing. He's a bit of a joker boy. He cares about his friends. He's very friendly. I'm planning to flesh his personality out a little better later once I start working on the story, because I want him to have an important role since he is the main character. Well, the friends of one of the main characters, but he's still the main character and such, yeah. Oh, and about his eye patch. I planned a backstory for him on why he's wearing that eye patch. It's because he's missing an eye. That's not for show. My boy, he lost an eye. Why am I laughing? So yeah, I have a backstory plan for him, but it involves with another character that I made, but I'm not going to tell it in this video because that's spoiler. But I am going to make a video about him, but that is not until way later because I still have like a bunch of other characters that I'm going to make. So yeah, once the video is made, I will link it to this video so that way people will find it. Another thing I forget to mention is that this is going to be a new series. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but in this series I'm going to be talking about the characters that I made, a little bit about their backstory, and while you guys watch the process of how these characters were made. Another thing about Cracks is that each wizard has their own magical abilities. So Cracks, he has the ability to use like some kind of spells to understand animals. And it's hard to explain, but he can use this magic to do animal-related spells. Now I'm going to start talking about the other character. Her name is Irune. I think that's how you pronounce her name. So basically, Irune, she was inspired by Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony. Reason why is because she's very studious. And I imagine her being like a smart person, like she takes studies seriously. She would not go out to parties because she would be in her room or at her house, like, you know, just studying. But yeah, I'm gonna develop her character a little bit later, like maybe when she's going on adventures or something, or maybe when she starts hanging out with like the main characters more, she's going to start like being more social and she's going to start spending less time studying and maybe more time adventuring, because my idea for her is that she spends so much time studying that she barely has the chance to see the real world or just having fun in general. Like her character development will become like from a straight A student to outgoing and like curious person is what I would say. Now, as for her design, I had no idea what I was thinking, but when I was making her, I thought flowers would be a good look for her, because even though I wanted her to look like a serious straight A student, she cares about her looks, like she wants to look presentable, because if you want to get good education, you gotta at least look your best for each classes that you're taking or something like that. And I thought flowers would give her a nice look. Even though she's supposed to be a mixologist, I thought that maybe flowers and plants would make sense in a way, because since she's a mixologist, I assumed that she would work with like plants or like different artifacts that she would use for her potions and such. So I thought flowers would like I just thought it looked pretty on her. There's no specific reason. I just wanted to give her flowers. So yeah, she has flowers on her like outfit. She has it on her hat and she has it around her waist, as you can see. So that's enough rambling about the two characters that I have here. I'm going to be talking about their world a little more. So stuff is still being worked on, but in this world, there's going to be mostly, the main characters are going to be wizards and witches. I'm going to make a video of the main characters. I would not be talking about them in this video because that will be a video for another time. So, as I was saying, the main characters are going to be wizards and witches, and my idea is, it's going to be kind of difficult to explain out. I'm going to make it another video to elaborate a little more, but to put it simply, the main characters are wizards and witches, and since they could do magic and such, I'm still planning things out, but they're going to go on adventures, they're going to meet new characters, they're going to go to new lands. It's going to be an adventure story, and the characters will learn lessons and such, yada yada. You get the point. But yeah, basically, I'm really looking forward to explaining more about these characters. Once I get the chance to draw them again, maybe I'll make fake screenshots of these characters standing side by side. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, now I'm gonna start talking about their color palettes. My goodness, was this a challenge? So basically what I did was that off screen, I went on Pinterest and I had to search up like specific certain color palettes for these two characters, because I had already like a basic idea of what they're supposed to look like. So for instance, Cracks, I imagine his color palette being mostly green. And as for Irune, I imagine her color palette being purple. So for Cracks, as you can see, I was like trying to like mess with like a certain colors here and there. I struggle a little bit mostly on like his clothing. And yeah, this was not easy to do because when it comes to making characters, I would always like imagine them in my head, but I don't always imagine the color. And when I start coloring them, like actually like trying to finish them, I would be like, oh no, I did not think this through. While working on his color scheme, I had to really think on what goes together, like what fits and whatnot. So when I was giving him mostly green color palettes, I had to make sure that everything goes well together, and I made the cape brown because while working on his outfit, I thought that making him mostly greens was a bit much, and I didn't like how the results came out, so I just made the cape brown. So I decided to go with that. So as for the wands, I couldn't think of the wands look very basic. I do not like that. I'm not really good at designing wands. Hopefully in the future I will fix that. Now on to Irune. So for Irune, I imagine her color palettes being mostly purple, like I said at the beginning. Irune was more easy to color because I already know what I already imagine all her colors and what they're gonna be. However, that didn't mean that I didn't struggle, because it's gonna show later, but you know the little, I don't know what it's called, but you know the little cloak that she has like around her shoulders, like the little small cape thing. I had to think carefully on what color should that one be, since I made her dress mostly purple, because that's what I wanted. I want her little dress to be like some kind of dark purple. I wanted to make it give it a brighter color than just purple, so it took me a while to think, but eventually you're gonna see in a second. But while messing with some colors for a while, I eventually went with light pink. I always struggle when it comes to coloring characters because I'll be honest, I'm not good when it comes to colors. So every time, it's always a struggle for me. I would make a character, I would give them an outfit. I sometimes give an outfit so much details that I have to make sure that all colors match. And then sometimes I would just give them colors that I think will fit well with the character. But then when I look back at the drawing, I'll be like, what have I done? Like, it will look like a rainbow catastrophe. But all that aside, while making these characters and while coloring them, I had a lot of fun with making these characters. I'm excited to draw them again someday, and I'm really excited to show the rest of the characters that I'm planning to draw in future videos. I wish I could have elaborated more about these characters. I wish I could have explained more about their stories or the purpose in the story. However, that will be spoilers, and I'd rather save it when the time comes where I would actually finish the story and post it someday. And let me tell you, I can't wait until that day comes. So that's Cracks and Irene. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please leave a like if you really liked the video and subscribe if you want to see more. Until then, I'll see you all next time.